What's up, testies? I know it's been a while since I put a video out. It's been a pretty interesting, should we say, 2 weeks since my last video. There's a couple of things to talk about. The St. Patrick's Day ship sales they had, which I believe are still ongoing. There was a preview of the Prowler, which I wanted to look at, but it all seems to be, how should we say, pretty overshadowed by what's happened in the world since my last video. Now, 2 weeks ago, I said this. So obviously good to see that. Now the yellow line is what you're going to be watching here, because all other locations in the world other than mainland China, this is about to go up a lot over the next week or two. And there's sometimes where I wish I was wrong, and this is one of those times. So this is where I made the video on the 2nd, and I said in 2 weeks time this line here is just going to go parabolic, and unfortunately this is where we are, and this has been an extremely frustrating 2 weeks for me. None of this is a surprise. If you've been watching the numbers coming out of South Korea, if you're watching numbers in Italy, what a disaster. Just today alone, 600 people died in Italy, adding to the 500 from yesterday. And it's been so frustrating, and I'm sure I've spoken to a lot of you, and you've said the same thing, talking to my parents who live down in Florida. And I spoke to my dad a week ago, well, more recently also, but I said, what's happening out there? He goes, full of tourists everywhere. The beaches are packed, Clearwater is packed, and I'm telling him, stay inside. And this is back when there were only 2 cases in all of Tampa. Where are we now? There were 2 cases back then. Now it's 520, and I was saying, don't go out, stay indoors, this is going to get bad. And my mom was saying, well, no, what do you mean? There's 2 cases. It's not so bad. It's going to blow over very soon. So frustrating to see that. And, Seattle, terrible. 74 deaths, 1,377 cases. I made the video when the first unfortunate guy died in Washington State 2 weeks ago. So it's definitely getting a lot worse. And I hate to say it, but the trajectory, I'm not saying it's to fearmonger, but the trajectory the States is on is very much like Italy. Right now, 47,000 confirmed, 4,000 deaths. I don't know if we'll get the number of deaths the same. I mean, the situation in northern Italy is that there's a lot of older people. Hopefully, it's not the same situation. I'm very, very concerned for my folks in Florida. The demographics there are very similar to northern Italy. Just on the news today, New York going to full lockdown, 7,000 cases as of today. These numbers are going to be doubling every 4 to 5 days at this point going forward until we get a grip on this. And if anything is to compare it to South Korea, and I spoke to Citizen 404 who lives there. This is going on 3 or 4 weeks ago right at this point, and he was in the 3rd week of quarantine back then. And only recently did they start seeing a decline in the new cases. Let me find this graph for you. Here it is. So here in the blue, okay, total cases are in the gray. So it's not climbing as fast as it was, flattening out a little bit. But in the blue, the daily new cases. So for the first time, just last week, there was a day-over-day decline in new cases, which is great. A little bump up over there. But generally, they got a hold of it. And this has taken place now 3 weeks or a month after the extreme quarantine they already had. So just today we had news that out of New York, things are being shut down there finally. And, I wish I had good news for you, but I don't want to be doom and gloom, but we have to knuckle down and just expect the worst here. And this is an interesting chart also. This doesn't end after a couple of weeks or a month or two. There's going to be more spikes as we go forward the rest of the year. Right now, we're going to be heading into this curve. This is just an estimate, but they're basically predicting that there will be spikes going every couple of months as more and more people get infected by it. So not the best of news, but stay tuned to the channel. I'll keep you informed as much as I can, information I find. We do have a discussion happening on our forums. I've linked that before, and we're in Discord every day if you just want to chat and hang out. A lot of you are in quarantine already, self-quarantine. So hop in there and we'll take a look. This kind of stuff pisses me off. Look, thousands partied at Miami Beach Festival, 9 positive for coronavirus. Well, congratulations. It's going to be a lot more than 9 at this point. And so frustrating, especially having family in Florida watching this happen. I believe Clearwater shut down the beaches already, and what kind of party is that? Amir Hamza volunteer license. Okay, it's a. Okay, this wasn't the beach party I was envisioning to be, and now I am gay because I was looking at his abs for way too long. But yeah, I think Miami's definitely putting the clamps on it now, as they should. I wish they did this a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I hope it's not too late. But if you are in a region where it's hitting you hard, please stay safe, stay indoors, wash hands, avoid going out if at all possible. If you just want to hang out and get your mind off the issues, come to chat. There's people from all over the world in there right now. We can just hang out and take our minds off the issues. Otherwise, yeah, I do want to talk about the Prowler and some of the ship sales, but honestly, it just doesn't seem that important right now. Maybe tomorrow we'll get that done. All right, guys, I'll see you a bit later. Take care.